This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 22nd day of November in the year 2023. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. Attorney General Anil Nandlal is pleading with Guyanese at home and abroad to be mindful of the posts they are making and sharing on social media regarding the ongoing border controversy with Guyana and Venezuela. He has explained that some social media posts could lead to unnecessary confrontations and stir up the emotions of people. On his issues in the news television program last evening, the Attorney General said certain social media posts regarding the controversy continue to have a negative impact on citizens.
We continue to appeal as a government to all citizens to only listen and read the official channels of communication. There are a lot of irresponsible postings, a lot of false postings, a lot of hysterical postings, a lot of fear-mongering contained in postings and the social media in particular. And we caution against such publications. They do nobody any good.
Mr. Nandlal also said while the government will be rolling out a massive public education campaign, every citizen has a duty to act reasonably in relation to the matter. He said the first duty is to ensure that persons seek to disseminate correct information.
They certainly don't have a positive impact on the psyche of Guyanese, and they can lead not only to unnecessary apprehension, tension, stress, but can also lead to provocative acts which can be inimical to our national interest at this point in time.
The Attorney General urged citizens to gather their information on the issues from credible sources and the government itself, while not touching too much on the build-up of Venezuelan military personnel at the border. The Attorney General said it is likely that the International Court will release its ruling on Guyana's recent objections to the Venezuelan referendum before it takes place on the 3rd of December. Guyana has asked the International Court to block a number of questions in that planned referendum that references the border controversy and Guyana's Essequibo region. More news coming up in just a moment.
Oh my lord, I just love to shop in this store. My customers, them gonna love all these things. So many different things in one place. Household items, electronics, toys, stationery, confectionery, exercise equipment, shoes and clothes for men, women and children, school things, costume, jewelry, perfume, makeup. Oh, look the makeup!
Giftland Office Max, Guyana's favorite department store.
It's your time to win big. The Massey Store's Christmas jackpot promotion is back and bigger than before. Spend $5,000 at any Massey Stores to be the lucky winner of a brand new MGZS and fantastic weekly store prizes from now until January 31st, 2024. What are you waiting for? Head to your nearest Massey Stores to shop now. See our Facebook and Instagram pages for more details. Massey Stores, our family serving your family.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Monster, bust the flavors. flavors. Bust the flavors that me crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the Buster flavors. Grab a Buster flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a Buster. Buster flavor, taste the savor. Buster flavors. Buster flavors.
It's back again! The Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Make My Wish Come Through Christmas promotion is here. What are you wishing for this Christmas? It's another exciting Christmas promotion designed with you, our members, in mind. This Christmas, you can win big. Household appliances ranging from a fridge, washing machine, gas cooker, dining table, television sets, and much, much more. Here's how you can be a part of our Christmas promotion. You must be a member of the credit union in good standing. You must have an existing loan or must have taken your first loan with the credit union. You must fill out a coupon with your information clearly marked. Coupons for this promotion can be uplifted from our head office at Lot 45 Hatfield Street, Georgetown, or from any one of our regional representatives countrywide. Promotion runs from October 30th to December 15, 2023. What are you wishing for this Christmas? GPSCCU, people helping people.
Police investigators have traveled to the east coast of Marara village of Unity in Mahaika to probe the murder of a 38-year-old woman. The lifeless body of Churumati Tulsi was found this morning in the lower flat of her two-story house. The body was found on the floor with a cloth stuffed in the woman's mouth and stab wounds to her neck. The suspected murder weapon, a knife, has since been recovered. The woman was last seen alive on Tuesday. Investigators suspect that she was murdered sometime between 7:30 last night and early this morning. Persons in the area did not report hearing any unusual sounds coming from the house. While no suspect has been identified, investigators believe that the suspect might be someone who was known to the woman. A number of persons in the area have since provided statements to the police. A post-mortem examination is to be carried out on the woman's body later this week. Turning our attention now to the mining sector, Guyana has seen a reduction in the importation of mercury for mining purposes. That's according to the head of the GGMC's Department of the Environment and Guyana focal point for the Minamata Convention, Darcy Waldron. While speaking to reporters on the sidelines of a gold mining in Guyana Environment and Human Health Considerations Conference, Mr. Waldron explained that over the last 2 years, the country has seen a significant reduction in the importation of mercury.
We've seen a gradual reduction in it because we're understanding that it's the reduction. And I think that's one of the key things to focus on.
Was it significant?
And like I'm saying, I can't give you the figures offhand, but there has been a reduction. There has been a significant reduction.
He said prior to the reduction, there was a peak in importation of mercury owing to a common misconception that the government under the Minamata Convention was moving to eliminate the use of mercury in the country's mining sector. The Minamata Convention is an international treaty designed to protect human health and the environment from emissions and releases of mercury and mercury compounds. Guyana signed on to the convention in October of 2013 and ratified it in 2014. According to Mr. Waldron, Guyana under the convention has committed to reduce or minimize the use of mercury where feasible. He said to control the amount of mercury entering the country, the government has put in place a cap. In August of 2019, the Ministry of Natural Resources, the Environmental Protection Agency, the GGMC, and the Pesticides and Toxic Chemicals Control Board signed an MOU agreeing to that cap.
Now we have a cap as to how much mercury can come in within a particular period, within a particular year, and how much a miner or an importer can bring in. And once you meet those limits, what we try to do also, we monitor to see where it is, to see if it's been reduced, and if it's not, then you can't bring in any more other than that cap that has been given for that particular period.
Meanwhile, all importers, retailers, traders, and distributors of mercury are required to have environmental authorization from the EPA to engage in the sale or distribution of mercury.
We've set up infrastructure where we even monitor the importation of mercury through a MOU with the Ministry of Natural Resources, the EPA, PTCB, Pesticides Toxic Chemical Board, and GGMC, where we now basically track to Mercury into the country, and we track to see where it is going and how it's being used in the industry. We've also doing research projects and stuff to ensure that releases are being reduced through mining practices, through encouragement, enforcement, and also education and awareness about the dangers and the effectiveness of what mercury can do to harm the environment and human health.
And the government has also been encouraging the use of mercury-free technologies in the mining sector. Waldron was among speakers at the Gold Mining Conference, which was organized by the University of Guyana, the World Wildlife Fund, the Alliance for Responsible Mining, and the French National Research Institute.
John Lewis Styles is proud to introduce for the very first time their own brand of women's clothing. A line of hand-picked styles and designs of modern and contemporary women's clothing. Fashionable enough for the young. Styles that are timeless, and quality that you're accustomed to. Choose from t-shirts, tops, pants, jackets, shorts, dresses and even hoodies. So come see our new women's line on Waterloo Street on the second floor. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
As you know, we have been experiencing power outages, prolonged power outages that we are totally dissatisfied with.
Right now, we are producing about 10 megawatt below what the peak requirement necessitates.
The truth be told, the pace at which we are growing would require us to double our capacity as quickly as possible. That is why the gas to energy project and the hydroelectric project is so important for us.
Come on now, ping pong chairs, choo-choos, amazing, taste so good. Feed your cravings, chocolate rich, you'll be craving more. And more, and more, and more, here comes the crave. Ping pong chairs and choo-choos, feed your cravings, you know you want to.
Choo-choo heaven.
Guyana, get ready! It's the 61st National School Cycling, Swim and Track and Field Championship from November 26th through December 1, 2023. Hosted by the Ministry of Education and the Guyana Teacher Union. The moment you've been waiting on is here. Come see top student athletes and teachers from 15 sporting districts compete in intense rivalry. Come and enjoy cycling at the National Park Georgetown, swimming at the National Cook Center Lilliandale, November 27, and from November 28 to December 1, witness the track and field action at the National Track and Field Center Nora, West Coast Demerara. The action starts 10 hours. The National Championship, where stars are born. Sponsored by Rainforest Water, Timor, Powerade,
President Irfan Ali has challenged European companies to capitalize on the economic opportunities that exist in Guyana, as the EU, that's the European Union, hosted its first global gateway economic mission to Guyana. In an address at the Marriott Hotel earlier this week, President Ali said for far too long European investors have viewed Guyana and by extension CARICOM countries with narrow lens.
But what was lacking was a narrow outward engagement by European investors. Because honestly, you viewed CARICOM and Guyana from a very narrow lens, based on population and based on size of economy.
The president said Guyana has always had tremendous natural assets, but European investors have failed to effectively capitalize on the opportunities that exist. He said it is now time for European investors to press the reset button and expand their partnership with local companies.
Healthcare is one area in which we have seen major investment from companies and countries in the European Union over the last 2 years. But there is still so much more. For the private investors, for example, we would like to see European medical facilities partnering with our local private sector hospitals here, filling up their capacity, becoming a major foreign currency earner here by providing global healthcare services.
Further, the president said using established arrangements and agreements, European investors can use Guyana to tap into other markets in South America, the Caribbean, the US, and even China.
But what we are seeking to do is to create the competitive advantages within Guyana so that you can relocate your services here or expand your services here to better compete and gain access to those markets.
According to the president, based on established agreements, Guyana has access to markets in countries such as Argentina, Canada, China, Cuba, and the US, in addition to CARICOM. He said those agreements can enable European companies to develop a competitive edge over other companies.
We have with us today a great reflection of diversity that is so typical of the European Union. We have a group of indeed 23 companies from 10 member states. We have, for example, a company from rural, small town, southern Sweden that grew into a global medical technology leader that now employs 11,000 people working in 40 countries. And we have with us a company that has a flock of 4,000 sheep that combines Ireland's strength in sheep and grass and dairy to create the world's finest milk-based products. We have companies from the cold north of Finland to the warm south of Spain.
The EU ambassador to Guyana said a number of companies were selected for their contributions to priority sectors of the EU Global Gateway. He said those sectors include renewable energy, digital economy with high technology, and innovative services, along with green solutions for agriculture, transport, forests, and manufacturing. He said all of the sectors are highly relevant for Guyana to achieve many of its ambitions. The vice chairman of the Institute for Action Against Discrimination, Ubraj Narain, today said the apolitical organization provided the U.S. fact-finding mission with evidence of discrimination in Guyana, from the demolition of houses in Maka at the start of the year to the removal of traditional vendors from the Kingston seawall to facilitate others. At a press conference at the Critchlow Labour College today, Narain, who is a former mayor of Georgetown, told reporters that the vendors who for decades plied their trade along the Kingston seawall have been displaced by the government to facilitate new vendors.
These people who actually create Kingston seawall, and they have been shoved away and pushed out. That is a form of discrimination in this country.
Alleged discrimination in the allocation of house lots and acts of political and racial discrimination were also brought to the attention of the U.S. delegation, he said. And while expressing disappointment in the decision by the government not to meet with the delegation, Mr. Narain said while the president speaks of uniting the people, the policy of his government appears to be in sharp contradiction.
He would not rest until he unite Guyana. How you will unite Guyana when you cannot work with organizations like IPADG, like ACDA, the opposition, the municipality of Georgetown, the municipality of Linden, the municipality of New Amsterdam. How would you able to unite Guyana?
Meanwhile, the secretary of the organization, Leland Saul, while endorsing the visit to Guyana by the 13-member U.S. delegation, said the issue of discrimination in Guyana is real.
It's not only that people are discriminated in Guyana due to race or ethnicity. We have a big issue where people are discriminated based on class. And that seems to be the dominant thing now. There is a small percentage of people in this country, maybe less than 10, that controls all the wealth and all the development that you witness in this country. A few people are benefiting.
Mr. Saul also said the government needs to balance infrastructural development with human development. Despite being shut down by the government, the U.S. delegation in executing its mission met with a number of organizations in various parts of the country. It intends to submit its report based on the claims of discrimination to the U.S. Congress and the United Nations for its consideration. The main opposition party in Barbados, the Democratic Labour Party, today expressed great concern that the government in Barbados has not yet expressed its full support for Guyana in the current border controversy with Venezuela. Barbadian Prime Minister Mia Mottley, in a statement over the weekend, said Barbados and the rest of CARICOM stand strongly behind Guyana. But the Democratic Labour Party said Prime Minister Mottley has failed to criticize Venezuela for its aggressive acts against Guyana in recent time. Speaking at the DLP meeting in St. Michael, the party leader Dr. Ronnie Yearwood stated that Barbados and CARICOM must stand on the right side of history in supporting Guyana's territorial sovereignty. He urged Barbados to follow CARICOM in taking a clear, unified position against Venezuela's claims over a significant portion of Guyana's territory. Dr. Yearwood noted that Venezuela's actions not only affect Guyana, but also threatens peace and security within the Caribbean region. He condemned the approach of the Barbadian government as hedging its bets and playing both sides, especially given the recent meetings and upcoming agreements that the administration has been seeking to conclude with Guyana and Venezuela. The DLP leader said Barbados must not forget the long friendly relations it shares with Guyana. The opposition party leader cited the cooperation between the Democratic Labour Party founder and late Prime Minister of Barbados Errol Barrow and the late President of Guyana Forbes Burnham in negotiating the agreement establishing CARICOM. The agreement, he said, has set the tone in large measure for the friendly relations that Guyana and Barbados have enjoyed. He further urged CARICOM countries that are signatories to the Venezuela-Caribbean Petro-Caribe Oil Procurement Agreement to resist attempts to use the agreement as leverage to gain support for Venezuela.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyoil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
Sorry.
Jack?
Hey.
Boys, where you going with all that speed?
Yo, today's the 15th. My NIS contributions are due, and I ain't even get the forms as yet.
Hold on. You mean to tell me that you're not aware that all self-employed persons can now make their NIS contributions using the MMG app from the comforts of their homes and offices?
Really? I just pay my bills using MMG,
Yes, Jack. And the thing's simple. All you have to do is open the app, select Pay Bills, Government Services, NIS, and Pay. They will prompt you to enter your NIS number, the month you're paying for, and the amount.
So I don't need to submit any form?
The only time you submit in a form is when you're making a claim.
Wait, I could make a claim too?
Oh, no, man. You didn't know that? Yes. All self-employed persons are entitled to all benefits from NIS. Well, except for the industrial benefits. And here's the good part. All of their forms, you can download them from the NIS website.
Well, girl, I'm really glad I bumped into you.
Anyhow, make sure you pay your bills later.
Later? I gotta sit down right here and pay my contributions first.
Take care.
For further information, please visit the website at www.nis.org.gy, the National Insurance Scheme Facebook page, or your nearest NIS office.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor at the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily.
Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water. Now available for only $120.
With your regional and international news tonight, I'm Svetlana Marshall in the region. Senior Cuban officials have, over several weeks, provided an increasingly dire snapshot of a deepening economic crisis in a series of televised primetime appearances, revealing the extent of the downturn in unprecedented detail. According to Reuters, minister after minister have delivered the bad news as the import-dependent communist-run country weathers a fourth year of crisis, scraping by with a minimum of foreign exchange as output plummets. Food production, the supply of pharmaceuticals, and transportation are down by at least 50% since 2018, the top official said, and continue to decline this year in large part due to chronic fuel shortages and power outages. Cuba imports most of the food and fuel it consumes, but revenues have plunged following the pandemic, hammered by stiff U.S. sanctions and a struggling tourism industry, once a mainstay of the Caribbean island economy. Barbados is no longer facing an egg shortage, says the Barbados Egg and Poultry Producers Association. President Stephen Lane told Barbados today that 972,000 eggs arrived last week, and the shelves of retailers across the island have since been restocked. He said a shipment of 3 containers, each containing 324,000 eggs, reached the Bridgetown port either last Thursday evening or Friday morning, following a 2-week delay, and the eggs were distributed on Friday to various businesses. Although he could not provide details as to the cost of the imports, Lane said this shipment would be enough for the local market until year-end. An additional shipment was readily available if needed, he added. And finally tonight, international news. Hamas says a 4-day pause in fighting agreed to with Israel will begin at 10 hours local time on Thursday. According to the BBC, Israel has not yet commented on when the pause will begin, but Foreign Minister Eli Cohen says he expected the first hostages to be received on Thursday. Under the agreement, 50 Israeli hostages taken by Hamas will be released, and 150 Palestinian women and teenagers held in Israeli jails will be freed. Families of those held in Gaza have said every captive needs to come home and that each hour is critical. Up to another 150 Palestinians could be released, as well as another 50 hostages from Gaza after the initial 4-day pause. Israel has continued its ground and air operation in Gaza, and its chief military spokesman has reiterated that the war is ongoing. Israel began attacking Gaza after Hamas fighters crossed the border on October 7, killing 1,200 people and taking about 240 others hostage. Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry says more than 14,000 people, including more than 5,000 children, have been killed in Israel's campaign. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.